Can you hear me?
Yep, got you loud and clear.
All right. Engines. What I like to do is a good 6 to 8 minute warm up, depending on how cold it is outside.
Right.
On a day like today, 6 minutes. If it's colder, if it's below about 50 or so, I'll go a full 8 minute warm up.
Right.
And that that just gives plenty of time for the block to get warmed up and operating temperature, and not just the cylinder head temps.
Right. Right.
My dad's airplane.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he had it for almost 20 years.
Really?
Out in California. Finally got to the point where he just wasn't flying it a whole lot. Decided that he didn't want it just sitting out on the ramp, so he said, you take it.
No.
So we, when I moved out here earlier this year, I flew out to California and we took it apart and put it in the U-Haul, and I drove it out here.
Yeah, I remember the day you brought it out here in the U-Haul.
Yeah.
Helped you get it down on that sketchy little ramp system.
Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad.
Nah. But when you have it all balanced on a couple of ramps...
Yeah, it's precarious at best.
Precarious. I'd rather have it in the air than on ramps. Safer in the air than it is on those ramps. It looks like somebody drove out here with that ground was a little bit wet.
Yeah. I like to fly off the dirt more than the pavement on this thing.
I do too.
I mean, it just softens everything.
Yeah. I don't like the south end of this runway though.
Yeah, that berm it's unforgiving out there.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of lumpy, kind of bumpy. I like to land on the dirt, but take off on the asphalt.
Yeah.
It's easy on the tires for one thing.
Right. Yeah.
You know. On the prop too, because the prop tends to suck up a lot of stuff when it's taken off.
Yeah. Yeah, I will probably do the same thing in my Sonics.
Yeah. That Sonic's going to be a solid little airplane, I'll tell you that. That is going to be solid. That's about a 150 mile an hour airplane, though.
Yeah. My last one, I was seeing between 140 and 150 indicated at a normal sort of low cruise. If you pushed it, at a higher cruise, kind of pushing a max continuous cruise, it would do 170.
Wow.
Got a few more minutes on the engine, so I'll just sit here and let it warm up a bit.
I flew with a guy in a drifter one time, right?
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the back seat, and he was sitting in the front seat. And we're sitting at the end of the runway just like this. He's waiting for the engine temperature to come up. And I noticed he starts cleaning out his cockpit. He starts throwing beer cans out.
Yeah.
Right? Turns out, he wasn't cleaning out the cockpit. He was sucking down beers and throwing the cans out.
Yeah.
There was at least 2 went down, and then he's throwing them out in the air. He would kind of take it down like this and let it go so it wouldn't hit the prop.
Right, yeah. Well, his 2 favorite activities, flying and drinking. He's like, how come I can't do them together?
We ended up doing a downwind landing at in excess of 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Not very cool.
No, he's just waiting to hurt himself or somebody else.
Yeah. I think that was the last ultralight flight I had. No, I had an ultralight plane myself. I had a Falcon. which is a canard.
Oh, yeah.
Glider type of thing, you know. It had a Rotax 288, and I had that just about 2 years ago. I flew that a bit. But I think something like this, I think like a, like I said, I think like a Phantom or a Hurricane.
Yeah.
A T-Bird.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the guy that had a single place Challenger that flew it out here a few years ago. Yellow airplane.
No.
He was a pastor and he did a couple of flights. I don't know that he kept it out here. But anyway, he sold the airplane and it went up to Westcliff. And I met the guy that bought it. He's a student pilot. Not sure whether he wants to buy a 150 or stick with his Challenger. He's a little bit, he's an auto mechanic in town, and so he's really, really busy, and so he's not sure he wants to stick with the, you know, the experimental side and have to dork with it himself.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, you know, just not enough time type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I thought it was kind of interesting, you know, when I started researching Colorado Springs, I saw a couple of videos on YouTube, and one of them was this pastor flying his single place Challenger.
Huh.
And I didn't realize it until after, like well after I was here, that was that airplane and it was this airport.
Interesting.
I kind of put all the pieces together.
Yeah, when I used to fly in Meadow Lake, I would come down and buzz this runway once in a while, not realizing what, you know, not realizing what this was. Of course, I lived in the Springs, so this just seemed to be way out.
Yeah.
And of course, it was never that far, but it always just seemed that way.
All right, I got 6 minutes on the clock. What are the temps looking like?
Yeah, you got about 175.
Okay.
Front and rear.
Yeah. Okay. That is good. These temp probes are under the head bolts, so they read about 50 degrees cooler.
Okay.
So got our 200 degrees, and we should be good. All right, if you just do a final check of your visor and chin strap, just to make sure nothing comes off.
Chin strap's good. Visor's down. Yep. Okay.
All right, I think we're ready to go.
Alrighty.
Let me get turned around. Why don't you make us a radio call?
Okay. Springs East traffic. Experimental 446 Sierra Romeo, departing runway 17 left, Springs East.
All right, here we go.
About an ultralight, man, just the visceral experience, you know?
Right. Yeah.
You really just feel like you're hovering. Great. Look at that. up again. The RV4 is the same way. I can lean forward and go down.
Yeah.
There's an airplane over there.
Right.
Hey, you want to see my place?
Yeah.
Alright, just head straight that way about 8 miles.
Okay.
I haven't mowed my runway in a long time. I was going to mow it after the growing season ends, and that way I just got to do it one time. Plus I got cattle on there now. But you'll see how I set up the runways. I got about 4,000 total.
Yeah.
But about the middle 2,000 is flat, usable, it's real nice. I consider it like 2,000 with 1,000 overrun each way.
Right.
But it's 4,000 total. There's 1,000 you wouldn't want to run on, and there's another 1,000 that's just kind of uphill and over a hill and near some power lines. But the middle 2,000, you'll see it, it's pretty nice. You'd have no trouble getting this in or out of there.
Well, why don't you take it?
Alright.
Alright, your airplane, you got it.
Got it, my airplane.
I'll try and get light on the rudder so you get the full experience.
Yeah, let me make a few roll maneuvers here. Get the feeling of the roll response. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'm one of the few people that lives the other way from Springfield, you know?
Right.
Most people live back towards town. I think we're flying upwind.
Yeah, I don't want to go downwind. It would be all night getting back.
Yeah, no, we're going just about straight ahead here. I was trying to compute my ground speed by going upwind and downwind on my RV4, right?
Yeah.
I could not add the two of them and divide. When I came back down to about 12, it was like I had a cup of coffee. I woke back up again.
Yeah.
It was really iffy.
Yeah, I didn't spend that long up high, but I was definitely kind of, watching myself. And I felt it, when I got down below 12, I felt that sort of fog clearing away. It wasn't real bad, but I could tell that I had been affected.
Yeah, this is what I call Yoder Hill here. This is a long hill going up. And then up there by those trees up there, that's the Yoder post office.
Oh, okay.
And you see those cars going south, that's Yoder Road.
Yeah.
I'm about 5 miles south down that road. So I'm right about up, straight up ahead here. This is where the El Paso County Sheriff comes every night, at least once.
So this is a problem neighborhood?
Oh yeah, this is problem central here, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting how that always seems to work out. There's always, like one place where the cops spend most of their time doing their stuff.
Yep.
Talking to the flight department in Kansas City, they said, yeah, we fly the majority of our hours in an 8-block radius.
Wow. Wow. And most of the time they're just being like a parent. They're just kind of riding herd on the mess.
Yeah. blasting up above us at about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
I always assume that they see me when I'm down low, but I always kind of wonder at the same time.
Yeah.
Not that I worry about running into anybody. It's more of a curiosity.
I would bet $100 the guy never saw us because
Yeah.
he's a low-wing airplane. His visibility down is crap.
Yeah.
And we're very low, so you know, he's probably not going to see us.
Yeah.
We're basically no factor to him, and he's basically no factor to us. I've heard airline pilots talk about warnings they've received, like from my presence, you know.
Yeah.
They say, oh, we got an airplane over here, and they would say, yeah, we see him, no factor, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
They don't care if they, you know, if you can't reach them by the time they get there, they don't care.
Right, yeah.
Flying this low, man, and seeing this much.
Yeah.
Normally I'm doing this ride at, you know, 180 miles an hour, 1,000 feet. I've done it this low at 180. You really feel like you're screaming, man.
Right, yeah.
I've actually been down on the deck. See all that down there? That's all government land.
Right, yeah. That's the auxiliary airport, Buckeye.
Yeah.
Or Bullseye.
That's Bullseye. And beyond that, there's 14,000 acres of government land. And I've gone down there chasing coyotes. 200 miles an hour, my RV.
Yeah.
Talk about a rush.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's nuts.
One of the things I like about the Challenger, you can be cruising along at 60 miles an hour, right down low, and you never feel like you're doing anything dangerous. You're just cruising along, everything's fully under control.
Oh, yeah.
Not scaring anybody.
No, no, no. And you know what? At this altitude and out here, you can land straight ahead if you have to. But all these little dirt roads are just wonderful. Then you can put it down on that dirt road right there. These fields are not that bad. They're kind of pasture, but you know, you're probably not going to roll more than 200 feet in this thing if you had to do an off-field landing. That's nothing.
Yeah.
I keep tending down lower and lower. Back up a little bit more.
If you're going to climb up, just go back to full power.
There we go. Yeah, the next thing I got to do is build a little hangar out here. So I can just fly right at the house. That's been my dream all along.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I know what you mean. I've always thought, you know, my goal is to be able to go for a flight before breakfast.
Yeah.
Because it's so close and so easy.
Right. That's my house dead ahead there. A little white thing. I'll take you down the runway here. Out here, but it's very, very isolated.
Yeah, I understand that.
There's very few people that do any kind of aviation. Now that guy, let's see. See that brown house over there? Okay, that's James Lemon, and he has an RV3 over at Meadow Lake.
Okay.
He's got a 40-acre plot over there that he probably could take this thing off of. But it's kind of like east and west, and it kind of goes up and down, so it's not that good.
Yeah.
about 2/3 of it. I own the eastern half, the eastern third of it, I guess. Maybe I own a third of it. I own 230 acres. So that house over there is mine. So you can't see my runway because I haven't mowed it, but I'm going to make a right hand 90 here and just take you over it.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see if I can spot it now. I can hardly spot it myself. There it is.
I'm going to bring the power back just a little bit.
Okay. Okay, so now we're aligned with it. And now I'll make the last 45 to it here.
Yeah.
And now you can kind of see it.
Yeah, that kind of dark strip down the middle.
Yep, that's it. So it kind of starts just after this puddle here, after this little pond. I'll just put it over here at the left.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the beginning of it. That's the rough part.
Yeah, right.
That's the rough. And then the little greenish part is the 1,000 or 2,000 in the middle. And then it goes up that hill. It goes up that hill, and then there's a power line at the end up there. But I've taken my RV4 off and on it, on and off of it maybe 30 or 40 times, and it's great.
Yeah.
So there's my one runway marker there, that gray thing. And you can see going up this way, up that hill, there's a few little car tracks.
Right, yeah.
And then it ends up there on top of that hill. And that's probably about a 15-foot hill there. And that's a shooting range of, if you want to do any shooting, like long range, I got 1,000 yards.
Oh, yeah.
And that little dam there is my backstop.
Nice.
That's my house over there, of course. But I want to put a hangar right down there by that green area there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a nice setup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to be able to fly over my house. I've always lived in areas under Class Charlie and all that. You can never really fly.
Right.
You know, over the house.
Why don't we head on back? I want to leave enough time to get over to Meadow Lake.
Sure. Getting an ultralight just to fly around the house out there, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really good. Now I want one.
Yeah, right. Trinidad.
Yeah.
There's the large Army training land down there, Pinyon Canyon.
Yeah.
It's along the it looks like the eastern edge of Pinyon Canyon, and I've never been down there. I've just been on the edge of the canyons, but they say it's like a little mini Grand Canyon. You can get right down along the canyon rim, and it's really, really picturesque. So, looking forward to that. Go down to Perry Stokes and then jump off from Perry Stokes. It's just about 10 miles east of Perry Stokes. You pick up the river. And just follow back to the north.
You gonna do that with this?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I've been thinking about doing Las Vegas. I've been thinking about flying over to Vegas.
Yeah?
I've flown over to the Grand Canyon, and I flew out to New York this summer in the RV. And the only thing I haven't done is flown west. So I would love to do Vegas and then LA. So I'd fly out by LA. That'd be pretty cool. Never been out that way, so.
I've never flown in Southern California. I grew up in sort of the middle of California, around Sacramento. So I've flown the valley and a little bit along the coast.
Okay.
A little bit in Northern California. When you get up into the Pacific Northwest, and the terrain is pretty rugged, but the scenery is great.
Right.
All those big mountains are just really cool.
Yeah. Man, the sightseeing is just amazing. Just amazing. Visibility is amazing.
Yeah. I've got other Challenger friends, and one of the most common questions the other Challenger guys ask me is, where's your doors? Well, how come you don't have your doors on?
Doors?
It's like doors. I'm not putting doors on this thing.
That would defeat the purpose. I can see it for the winter,
Yeah, and I probably will not fly as much as I would with doors in the winter.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt about that. I've got a heavyweight flight suit, but I just enjoy it so much being out in the air that I don't want the doors.
Yeah. Look at this, I'm resting my hand on the strut.
Yeah.
I just love feeling the air ripping across my arm.
Yep.
downwind. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else out here.
Just so long as we make a couple of calls, they know we're in the pattern. If anybody else is around, they can talk. That far out, that would have been a go around on my 4.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's Scott with his kit box.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing, you never make a bad landing due to being too high or too fast.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
No.
But if you let the sink rate get away from you, it will bite you.
Yeah, you can bend it up.
And I've got heavy duty gear on this, and they've really proved their worth more than once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's really nice. I mean, it's almost a no-fail airplane. Sounds like your phone ringing.
Probably.
Or my phone. My phone's in the car.
Probably not ringing. It's probably just trying to.
Yeah, data burst.
Get that edge network is what makes a really lot of noise. If you're on edge, I'll tell you what makes the most noise. You get to the edge in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I used to have one. Used to have my phone plugged into my radio in the car. And you get to Nebraska and you gotta unplug it.
Yeah.
It's just so much feedback because they only have edge. They don't have any 3G.
All right, go ahead and shut it off with the key.
Man, this was wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for going with me. I always like flying with other people.
Say again?
I said thanks for going. I like flying with other people.
Yeah, man. That's the fun of it, is sharing. You know. That single place machine, and then I got the RV sent because to be able to share it.
Just sometimes it'll fall like that. Just hook it on this part of the chin strap right there.
Yeah, okay.
Just like that.
Got it.
And then that one there will turn it off.
The radio works fine.
I hear people over in Lyman all the time. You know, it works really well.
Yeah. Okay, now getting out.
Yep, just hike your buttocks to seat rail, and then get your feet back on the cross tube and scoot yourself back until you can step out.
Got it.